Like that's their identity, or they identify with the role that they're playing, whoever they're talking to, whatever role they're in at that point, that's who they identify with. So how can women begin to separate who they are from what they're doing or what role they're playing in that moment?
I think it's taking those intentional breaks, like we were talking about, just as a first step to be able to really start to tune into our intuition and hear our own voice. I know for me, like after my last role, like I sort of practice a little bit more with just doing that and also building self trust. Because I think, especially for women in corporate who've been kind of rewarded externally through, performance reviews and pay increases and like all of these kind of external things, we start to lose sight of like, is that my worth? Is that my value? Because if you're not getting those things, then does that mean you're not doing a good job? Like maybe you are putting in the work, but budgets are tight and they can't give you an increase or there's something else happening. So it's really important to kind of make sure you're not like identifying with that, with like always receiving that and relying on that as your source of self-worth. And I think another way you do that too is just building like little moments of self-trust with yourself, like do something outside of your comfort zone, do something a little bit scary or something you wouldn't normally do. Just kind of, make a little commitment to yourself that you're going to, like I started a few months ago just with I'm going to drink a glass of water every morning and I'm not going to have any sodas or anything like until I have to have that glass of water to have any other kind of drink during the day, if because I'll have coffee or something. So like I just want to make sure I'm drinking more water. So I started doing this every morning just while I'm putting together my son's lunch for school. And so it became more of a routine. And because I was doing that, I was developing this self trust because I was like, okay, I could have easily skipped it one day or just forgotten. But I made sure like it was, nope, this has to get done. It's not negotiable. And it's just something I haven't even told anybody like that. It was just a silly little thing. But what it did for me is just started building like this, okay, like I have confidence if I say I'm doing something that it's gonna be done. And so therefore, what's the next thing I can now do to show to myself that I can keep my word and keep going and go from there? So I think those are just a couple of things I've personally used as tools to kind of help me with getting more in touch with myself and what is true for me and what I want, and what I need.
Yeah, I think paying attention to where our values feel tied to what we're doing, what role we're in, or how needed we are. So I think just really paying attention to, if I wasn't doing this, who am I? And I think you kind of touched on that before, Tamika, when you said you were introducing yourself to a community and you started with my husband, or I am the wife of, something of that sort you touched on. So I think it's important to just figure out, well, who am I? Like, what do I like? Though it's really simple and it may sound, I don't know, elementary, but most people cannot answer that question when asked.
Exactly. Yep, that's the hardest piece. And I think, like for me, I look at it more from the point of feeling. Like for me, it's how do I want to feel and what are the things that make me feel this way? And when I don't feel that way, I mean, I did say earlier, about how everybody, like how I always heard growing up that everybody hates their job. There are going to be aspects when you're working for somebody else, there are going to be aspects of the job that you don't like. But for the most part, are there things that you can do as part of that you enjoy? There are things that I do outside of work where it's like, these are the things that make me feel happy. So how can I do more of these things? And then it's me taking that step back, like instead of seeing myself as, okay, this is my role, this is who I am, I now see myself as I'm the person who makes these things happen. I'm the person who helps other people feel good about what it is that they're doing and see themselves in a way that it feels good for them. Like for me, that feels good. I don't get that feeling from just me saying, okay, this is my job, this is what I do. It's like for me, it was learning to say, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I bring to the table. Like whether I'm doing something or not, this is who I am.